Hi, welcome to Unit 2. This unit is called Digital Equity. In this unit, you will understand the difference between digital equality versus digital equity. You will also be able to identify assistive and adaptive technology features. Digital equity. Well, let's dive right into it. As citizens, it is important to realize that every citizen is uniquely created. With that being said, it is important to have digital tools that are available for all types of digital citizens. This is why it is important to recognize the need for digital equity. Let's define some terms. Equality, equity. I know they sound the same, but they are very different. Equality requires that people are treated the same way. And equity means that people will be treated with fairness. Now, this may sound the same, but it's not exactly the same. Here's an example. Look at this picture. Let's look at the first part, where it says equality. There are 3 people, and they each have 1 crate to stand on. There is what's called equality here. Each person has the same boxes to stand on. But is this sufficient? Well, let's look at the middle person. This person can see the game quite well. The tall person can see the game, but it's unnecessary for him to stand on that crate. And the shorter person cannot see at all. Is this right? Well, let's look at the other side. Equity. Now, the tall person does not have a crate, the middle person has 1 crate, and the shortest person has 2 crates. Looking at them, you could see that each person has a different number of crates, but they all are able to enjoy the game. This makes it effective and efficient. Now let's look at the digital divide. This refers to the difference between people who have easy access to technology and those that do not have access to technology. Well, some of the reasons may include their age, their geography, where they're located, where they live, and their wealth. And wealth, I mean, more wealthier people or people that have more money are more likely to have technology than people that do not have as much money. Because of the increasing amount of technology used in the classroom, this can cause a dramatic problem. All students are now being required to use some type of technology, whether it be for assessments, whether it be for creating something or homework. So it's very important that elected officials and policymakers make and devise a plan to close up this divide, which they have been doing so. There's several initiatives that the government has initiated to close this gap, such as low-income families are able now to get a reduced rate on internet connections, and also can be assisted with computers or cell phones. Now let's look at assistive and adaptive technology. Most of us in here have a cell phone. Well, I'm here to tell you that your cell phone has different assistive and adaptive technologies. You may have not looked at them. There are different features on the phone that can be used to help. So let's look at the first one, text-to-speech. Text-to-speech is an option that is useful for people that have reading issues. There is a speak selection that lets the person select blocks of text to read aloud, or they can make it read the entire page of text. And then there's the dictation tool. This is a speech to text. This is more for people that have writing issues. This feature will allow them to speak to the device and the device write out the information. Then there's assistive touch. This is for people that have difficulties with fine motor skills. And lastly, screen magnifiers. Screen magnifiers magnify the screen, especially for people that have trouble seeing or reading fine print. This is just a few assistive and adaptive technology features. Let's look at the computers. There are adaptive keyboards, touch screens, text-to-speech, and electronic pointing devices. So in summary, we have went over the difference between digital equality and digital equity. We've also learned a little bit about the digital divide and assistive and adaptive technology features that are accessible on mobile devices or other digital tools. This is the end of Unit